If you enjoy anime, be sure to come on down for 31 days of anime over on MysticSage. Also follow our TikToks for daily Pokemon and anime content. Links for all of those will be below. Hey everybody, we are back once again with another Best Team No Restrictions video. This time, we're headed to Kalos for a trip in X and Y, which changed so much about the Pokemon we knew going in. There was the introduction of the fairy typing, mega evolutions, and the great mechanic that was Wonder Trade. There are so many different ways we could go with a team like this. And today, I think we've got a great squad composed of No Restrictions favorites and classic X and Y champs. So I'll just remind everyone to head over to MysticSage and watch some anime videos. And now let's get right into this best team. Well, we've got to start where we always do with the starter. And this is X and Y, so there's only one true answer. Greninja. That's right. Protean or not, Greninja is still the best of the three, so it's the Pokemon we're starting with here. Getting a Froakie from the jump, and then at level 36, you'll have a Greninja, with Frogadier somewhere in the middle. Its attack stats are nice, and it has great speed, so it'll put in some fine work. I guess we should just get into the move pool and take a look at what Greninja is bringing to the party. Alright, the move pool on old Greninja of the day is a familiar one. Surf and Waterfall, Night Slash, and then Ice Beam. It's a slightly mixed attack set, allowing us to get a lot out of Greninja for the long haul. Surf and Waterfall are of course a duo of HMs, with Surf being obtained in Shallow City, and Waterfall being given to you on Route 19 after the rival battle Gauntlet. If you want to substitute either of these with Scald after they become unnecessary, that's a fine plan. Next up we have Night Slash, which will need to be heart scaled back on so it can be used. It's going to pack a nice stab punch, even with the focus on being a special attacker. Finally, we've got Ice Beam for that last bit of coverage. It's the TM you get for earning your final gym badge, so you can use Blizzard up until then, though it'll be a bit of a later game move to learn. So with these moves, Greninja will be able to do well against Gran Samora, Olympia's entire team, Lysander's Honchkrow, and Pyroar, Sycamore's Charizard and Venusaur, the rivals Meowstic, Altaria, and Chestnut, Malva's entire team, Seabold's Starmie, Wickstrom's Probopass and Aegislash, Drazna's entire team, and finally Diantha's entire team except for Gardevoir. It's in the late game where Greninja truly shines, which is pretty great. It's the Pokemon you have for the longest amount of time, and it will get plenty of usage out in battle regardless of if it has super effective moves or not. So, if you have one starter, why not have another? Professor Sycamore gives you a Kanto starter and a nice Megastone when you reach Lumio City in this game, and naturally, we've got to put it to good use. So, who are we going to pick for this spot? Well, we could go with Charizard or perhaps Blastoise. Nah, we're gonna go Venusaur here. It's the best of the three for a nice in-game usage, and it goes the best with the team I've built for this No Restrictions playthrough. Mega Venusaur is a fat, powerful Pokemon with brilliant attacks and defenses, and it's gonna put in nothing short of the work. It's always a good idea to have a powerful grass type on your side, and Venusaur makes that decision way easy. Let's take a peek at how good this giant plant toad is. So Petal Dance, Venoshock, Toxic, and Leech Seed are the moves we've got on our powerful Venusaur here today. I decided on Petal Dance since it's such a powerful grass move, and with the switching in and out being an easy thing to do in a playthrough, I'm not all that worried about the idea of being confused. It'll be learned at level 32. Next, we have Venoshock and Toxic, which go hand in hand, since Venoshock becomes stronger when the opponent is poisoned. You'll get Venoshock fairly early on Route 6, but Toxic will become a bit later on Route 14. You can just run Poison Powder until then. Finally, we close out this set with Leech Seed, a simple and easy way for Venusaur to gain health back. It's learned at level 7, so it's going to be around for a while. Alright, these moves will enable Venusaur to do well against Gran Samora, Ramos's entire team except for Weepinbell, Valerie's entire team except for Mawile, Wulfric's Abomasnow, Sycamore's Blastoise, the rivals Vaporeon and Chestnut, Seabold's entire team except for Gyarados, and finally Diantha's Auroras and Gardevoir. So when it comes to Venusaur, the point with it will be to use that Venoshock, Toxic, Leech Seed combo often, which is very usable even against Pokemon that are inherently weak to the poison typing. While it might not seem like I went over a lot of Pokemon it can do well against, in reality there is actually a lot more than I ever could have gone over in this segment. Alright, so since we skipped over Charizard to select Venusaur, we'd of course want to choose the second best flying fire option, and that would be Talonflame. We needed a flyer, and in that first appearance for Talonflame, it was a very solid and popular option for in-game playthroughs. I mean, if nothing else, its existence justifies us skipping over Charizard even more. It's not like there's anything quite as unique and strong as Venusaur floating around. So for Talonflame, you'll get yourself a Fletchling right at the start of the game when you have Pokeballs, and upon reaching level 35, your Fletchinder will evolve into Talonflame. Its base 126 speed is one of the best on this team, and its attacks can make the most of its base 81 attack stat, which might not look too impressive from first glance. Let's get into the set so I can show you what I mean. The moves Talonflame has in battle this time around are Fly, Acrobatics, Flare Blitz, and Sword Stance. So Fly is just par for the course. It's what you want to get around. It's found in Comarine City. Next up though, we have a more usable flying type move, the always powerful Acrobatics. It gets stronger with no item being held, and it's pretty easy to just play through a game without an item. It's available at the hotel in Comarine City, but you need to get the quiz right in the hotel. And it's given at random, so you may need to do the quiz once or twice. Next, we have Flare Blitz, which will have to be heart scaled back on the Talonflame. If you're not keen on using a move with the recoil of Flare Blitz, it's honestly just as fine to use Flamethrower, if you get the TM in Anastar City from the Hex Maniac at the right time. Finally, there is Sword Stance, which will definitely put Talonflame over the top power-wise with that Acrobatics. It's via TM, which can be bought in the Lumio City Southern Pokemart. So Talonflame can use these moves to do well against Viola's entire team, Karina's entire team, Ramos's entire team, Valerie's Mawile, Wolfrick's entire team, Lysander's Mienshao, Sycamore's Venusaur, the Rival's Chestnut, Wickstrom's entire team except for Probopass, and finally Diantha's Gourgeist and Hawlucha. Talonflame is able to really help out with the early game, which is help that was definitely needed. Its genuine strength with Acrobatics and Sword Stance will enable it to do pretty well against any team. Okay, now it's time to get into the no restrictions part of this team, the second half being almost entirely made up of trait evolutions. I'm sure you guys can probably guess at least 2 of them, so let's get one of the obvious ones out of the way now. It's going to be Gengar. I know you guys have your thoughts about Aegislash, and they're for sure warranted when playing X and Y without trades. It's a broken Pokemon in many instances. However, in what world is Mega Gengar not more so? Its 170 base special attack and 130 base speed leave it without much reason to have the defenses that Shield form Aegislash has. And since it can get access to Sludge Bomb, it can handle fairy types just as easily. I decided that the power of Mega Gengar, as always, is too much to pass over, and it belongs on this team. You can get Haunter when you hit Route 14, which is the latest you'll get anything on this team. But even a little later is completely fine with this beast in play. Let's look over the moves on it and see what it's going to be doing. So our boy Gengar is rocking out with Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam. It's quite the moveset here, and again, using the Mega, it's so strong, I could have probably changed out some of those moves and still produced a dominant Pokemon. Shadow Ball is learned at level 33, and is the mark move on Gengar, offering some good power. Then we have Sludge Bomb, a nice coverage move for those pesky fairy types. It's a TM obtained on Route 19, which is definitely late game, and I'd say you can run Venoshock on Gengar until then. The next one is Thunderbolt, included for some interesting coverage, which you get when you beat Clement for a gym badge. And boy, let me tell you, it was nice to get Thunderbolt from beating a gym leader again. That was sorely missed. Finally, there's Dazzling Gleam, which is obviously a great move to deal with dark types, and that TM is gotten for beating Valerie. So with these moves, Gengar is able to do well against Valerie's entire team except for Mawile, Olympia's entire team, Wolfrick's Abomasnow, Lysander's entire team except for Pyroar, Sycamore's Charizard and Blastoise, the Rival's entire team, Malva's Talonflame and Chandelure, Seabold's entire team, Wickstrom's Aegislash, Drazna's entire team, and finally Diantha's entire team except for Auroras. Look at the domination of the last few trainers. Gengar is able to take down almost every Pokemon from the final rival battle onward until the end of the game. Now, take into account this thing's Mega against just about every other trainer, and yeah, Gengar is seriously good. So next up, I've got a Pokemon that I gravitated toward when I was building this team, and I think it's a nice roll of power that justifies its inclusion. Since we've yet to have any Earthquake users, I zeroed in on a strong ground type, and that led me to including Rhyperior on this team. It's a very strong and defensive Pokemon, albeit very slow, and it's got a really good move pull for its stab. Now, here's the thing. I can hear the clacking of keys now. This isn't Garchomp. What's wrong with you? Well, I'll explain even if that doesn't exactly stop you guys from telling me I'm wrong. See, you can get Rhyhorn early on in Glittering Cave, and then while you have to wait a bit to find the Protector so you can evolve Rhydon, it's still a strong Pokemon to use on its own. Meanwhile, to get a Gibble, you'll have to wait until you reach the desert, and you won't even get Garchomp until around the final gym battle. Meanwhile, with Rhydon, you'll be able to evolve it at level 40 into Rhyperior and have some massive firepower, while if you were using Gabite, you'd be stuck like that for 8 more levels. It's a region viciously injected with fairy types, and I put a lot of thought into that. You know what though? If you guys just want to ignore this team member and use Garchomp instead, go for it. Though, don't do that because it'll invalidate the thumbnail. So, long live Rhyperior. Let's peep the move pool. Earthquake, Stone Edge, Hammer Arm, and Megahorn are the moves Rhyperior is rocking out with this time. It's got Earthquake as its premier move, but it'll only be available for the Elite Four and Champion, so it's best to use Bulldoze up until that point. Next up is Stone Edge, a TM you can grab in the Frost Cavern. It's a great stab move on Rhyperior, and until you can get it, use Rock Tomb, which is gotten very early on into your journey. Next up, we have Hammer Arm, which is learned at level 42. It lowers Rhyperior's already bad speed every time it connects, so it really got no detriment since everything will probably outspeed Rhyperior anyway. Use Brick Break until then. It's found in Terminus Cave. Finally, there is Megahorn, which will be hard scaled back on, and of course terrify every grass type out there. You thought Go-Go was going to dominate your Rhyperior? Think again. The moveset of Rhyperior is going to let it do well against Grant's entire team, Clement's entire team, Wolfric's entire team, but might as well not bother, Lysander's entire team except for Mienshao, the rivals Meowstic, Altaria, and Absol, Malva's entire team, Seabold's Barbaracle and Gyarados, Wickstrom's entire team except for Scizor, but be careful with both of those battles, Drazna's entire team except for Dredigan, and finally, Dianthus Fossils. That Earthquake plays whether the opposing Pokemon is weak to it or not, so expect to get more out of Rhyperior in the late game than just what I listed off here. It would not be a no restrictions best team if I didn't reach down into the depths of existence and pull out Wait a minute. Alakazam isn't on this team? I said before, 2 of them are obvious though. I can't believe this. But wait, let me check this out. Oh, yeah. Alakazam isn't the best psychic type, so naturally I couldn't bring it on this team. I did, however, go with old reliable, the Great Gardevoir. Sorry for those of you who were expecting the meme to live on and get Alakazam. I totally faked you out there by talking about it last. It's easy to get Guardy. Just capture Ralts in the early game and get it to level 30. Do I really need to sell you guys on Gardevoir, even if it can't Mega Evolve? I mean, Alakazam couldn't either for a regular playthrough. So why would I ever hold that against this lady? Let's just get into the moves and that'll prove the point of using it. Alright, our final moveset here today on this team is Moonblast, Psychic, Focus Blast, and Calm Mind. Moonblast is heart scaled back on the Guardy, Psychic is learned at level 40, Focus Blast is bought at the Anastar Pokemart, and finally Calm Mind is learned at level 33. It's a very simple Gardevoir moveset, and it puts in the work. There's not much else to say about it. So, wrapping up the last portion of this video, Guardy is able to do well against Karina's entire team, Ramus's Weepinbell, Wolfric's entire team, Lysander's entire team except for Gyarados, Sycamore's Venusaur, Serena's Absol, Altaria, and Chestnut, Drazna's entire team, and finally Dianthus Hawlucha, Tyrantrum, and Goodra. So Gardevoir doesn't cover much of anything compared to the other Pokemon on the squad, but it's all good. It brings powerful moves in Moonblast and Psychic, which will enable it to hurt mostly anything. That's sort of the theme here. We've got a whole team of Pokemon that can not only dominate what they're supposed to, but perhaps anything they're tasked with battling. So that's going to do it for another no restrictions best team. I'm not the biggest X and Y fan in the world, but this team is honestly pretty good, I feel. It's got a lot of personality and a lot of power behind it. Let me know what you guys think about it below. I'm sure you've got a lot of opinions about what I picked, what I should have picked instead, all that jazz. We'll be back in the future with the Sun and Moon No Restrictions team, so be on the lookout for that. Hey, welcome to my new outro. A big thank you to everyone for watching the video. I want to give a huge thanks to my phenomenal team, and for the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, it really helps us out. I have a brand new TikTok for Mystic Umbreon, and I've got a goal to get the 10k followers over there. If we can hit that goal, I'm going to pick a random video suggested to me by you guys and do it. So go over there and leave a follow. Also over on MysticSage in the month of July, I'll be uploading 1 video a day. We've got content from My Hero, to Demon Slayer, to Black Clover. So come over to check it out. And also check out MysticSage on TikTok. Finally, I've got an Amazon store where we sell tons of Pokemon and anime products. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I'll see you next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.